Dear friends, the time has arrived when we sit down and have a serious conversation about trichology. I'm not a specialist in hair science, but I'm a specialist in having a lot of hair. Almost every day someone stops me in the street and asks me about my hair.
How long have you been growing it? How long have you been growing it? How long have you been growing it? My gosh, how long have you been growing it?
Based on their questions and comments, I came to realize that most of the people don't have the faintest idea of how hair works. In this video, I will focus on one particular aspect of hair, its length. The main takeaway message of this video is coming now. Hair does not grow indefinitely long. When speaking about hair length, we must first ask how many centimeters can a person's hair grow in 1 year? That is the growth rate. Typically, a hair on the scalp grows between 12 and 15 centimeters per year. But we just said that it cannot grow indefinitely long. So when does it stop? Each hair is produced from underneath the skin of the scalp by a hair follicle. And each follicle in your scalp can be in one of 3 different phases: anagen, catagen, and telogen. The anagen phase lasts roughly between 2 and 7 years. The catagen and telogen phases together, they last between 4 and 6 months roughly. A hair can only grow during the anagen phase. During the catagen and telogen phases, the hair does not grow anymore and is dormant, simply waiting to fall off. When that finally happens, a new anagen phase begins and another hair is produced by the same follicle. We don't usually notice this cycle because each follicle in our head is at a different stage. This is very good news, because if all follicles were at the same stage at the same time, we would all become bald for a few months every few years.
Yes, I'm gonna have to cancel the photo shoot for Pantene. Yes, it's happened again. I know. Awful.
So that's all that your hair does. It grows and falls off in a cycle that repeats over and over. Anagen, catagen, telogen, anagen, catagen, telogen. Although we mustn't forget the papagen phase. Now you may be wondering, what's the maximum length that your hair can have? That is simply the growth rate times the duration of the anagen phase. In other words, how fast does your hair grow and for how long? Both things may depend on many factors, including health, diet, or even climate conditions. However, they are mostly decided by our genes. As usual, there are always outliers, and you can find people with even faster growth rates and even longer anagen phases. In fact, the Guinness World Record for the longest hair in a woman is awarded to Xie Xiuping from China, whose hair is 5.6 meters long. And believe it or not, I could be in the Guinness World Record for the longest hair on a man, because currently my hair is 110 centimeters long. And the current record for the man with the longest hair is 0 centimeters.
Hang on, what?
That's right. There is a record for the longest beard, the longest mustache, and even the longest ear hair. But there is no record for everyday head hair. So yeah, I could be there in the Guinness World Record. But then again, so could Bruce Willis. In that case, I don't think I'll bother applying and spare myself having to appear in the website next to the rabbit with the longest fur. As I said at the start of the video, I get asked about my hair very often.
How do you treat it? How do you treat it? What shampoo do you use? What shampoo do you use? And what conditioner? How many teeth are in your comb?
Okay, here's my secret. I don't do anything at all. I wash it once or twice per week. I don't use any conditioner or hair mask or anything, just regular shampoo. I don't straighten it. I don't even use a comb or a brush. Yeah, sometimes it gets knotty and it may cause me some trouble. What I normally do when my hair is tangled is use my fingers to untie the knots. Finally, I don't trim the ends. Many people say that it would look much better if I had done so. I disagree, but I'm not a hairdresser. So, is my hair still growing? To try to answer this question, I collected a bunch of pictures taken at different times and I tried to estimate the length of my hair in those pictures. Here I have plotted the estimated length of the hair versus the date when the picture was taken. The points seem to be very consistent with a constant growth of about 15 centimeters per year. So if I extend the line all the way down, I can find out how old my oldest hair is. This implies that my anagen phase is at least 8 years long, and it may still not be finished. And as I go from the scalp all the way down to the end, it's like traveling back in time. Journeys, friendships, relationships, experiences. It's like a diary of the last 8 years of my life, and it's all written in my hair. And finally, of course, I often get asked,
and when are you going to cut it? When are you going to cut it? When are you going to cut it? When are you going to cut it, mate?
So after all this time procrastinating, I've decided that I'm finally going to cut my hair. And I'm going to donate it so that it can be made into a wig or a few and still be of use to someone else. This hair has shaped the last 8 years of my life. And while the anagen phase may or may not be over, this phase of my life is.